Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mr. Mo Dynasty. It's episode 32, and after that amazing 4th of July game, we are going to be diving into our second draft to see if we can build upon the success of our first draft and build the foundational pieces to turn this White Sox organization around. So for our final scouting week, we're going to go with center field David Nixon. What I like about him is look at that power against lefties. He looks like he's already got good power against lefties. Power against righties looks solid. Good reaction, good speed. I mean, there's a lot of good tools here. And there's a good chance he's probably like a C potential 70-something out the gates. I mean, he looks near ready to play. 4-year college kid from Missouri. 226, 6'2". I like his size for a center fielder. I mean, he looks like, kind of like a Mike Trout style. He's got speed and power. I like that a lot. So definitely thinking David Dixon might be some sort of steal as we pick. Or what's it say? Yeah. Anyway, we get him in later rounds. Then I'm looking to finish off, or at least get further on Enrique Batista. We have him high on our board, 5th. Lots to like about him. And then just trying to think about those later rounds. I think Thomas Metcalf has an interesting skill set. He's 18, so he's raw. There's a good chance his potential could be C. He might be like a C65. But look at the contact skills already. He's not going to be a power guy, but maybe he plays left field as well. But he's definitely going to be an on-base guy with speed. And yeah, his power is never going to be there, but I think a guy like that could be a nice late-round pick. And he's 18. 6'1", 204. So that's going to be our last group of people for this week's scouting as we get ready to take on the Guardians to see if we can sweep them and get over 500 once again. So at 44 and 44, we get ready to finish this series to the Guardians. Can we get the sweep and make this 4 of our last 5? We do get the win 2-1. Let's take out who did it for us. As far as offense, Jason Dominguez 2 for 3, he's up to 235, and Pozo up to 2 for 3, up to 217. A lot of 0 for 3s though on the day. Dominguez and Pozo with solo home runs. Elander Baroa, 6 innings of 1-run ball. He does give up 4 walks, but only 2 hits, as his ERA is 2.05. That has been a success compared to last year. And Ray Mata gets another hold, as his ERA drops under 4. Paredes gets another hold. His ERA gets closer to 4. And Karinchak drops his ERA under 3 and gets his 26th save of the year. Phenomenal job by our pitching staff once again. Now, for this game, I guess I should have said something, what July 5th was. I forgot to say it. So July 5th was a random event day that I rolled, and it says simulate until you win 2 games in a row. So we have to basically sim July 5th, which we just did and got a win, and then we have to simulate this day. If we get a sim, then we're done simulating. If we get a loss, then of course we have to sim again until we get a 2-game winning streak. This is a huge injury. Dominic Fletcher, 6 months plus injury. We're going to put him on the 60-day DL. We do get the win 5-2. Fletcher came out, it looks like early. Tatum came in and went 1 for 3 with an RBI, as it looks like it happened in the first inning. Melendez with another home run. He went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Melendez really putting it together. Dominguez, 2 for 4. He's up to 239 as the climb to 240, 250 comes even closer. And Grant Taylor goes 7 strong, gives up 4 hits, 1 run. His ERA drops to 3.40, and Wands and Karinchak both have ERAs now at 2.94. Karinchak comes in and gets his 27th save of the year, but we do have that injury. So let's go ahead and hit save. So basically, because we got the 2-game win streak, the random event will stop, and we'll do July 7th. But before we do, and by the way, we are at 46 and 44, having won 5 of 6 games in July as we approach the draft and the trade deadline and things like that. We're only 4 games out of first place, which is just incredible. to where we were not only a season ago, but look at this. Look at what we're rated. We are the dead last ranked team. How about the coaching job being done and the pitching staff? What effort they are giving to be where we are right now. However, we just lost Dominic Fletcher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some adjustments and come back and tell you what I did. So very excited to have won 5 of our last 6 and 4 in a row as we go to Texas and win to be at 46 and 44. We're moving on to July 7th. July 7th is Roll D30. I rolled and got a AAA manager event. And it says pushing a player to their limits. Your AAA manager and his coaches are using every effort to push a selected player to reach their maximum potential. Using their ratings, roll D100 and consult the chart. Well, unfortunately for us, our manager in the triples is rated at a -5, so no dice roll is going to win. So basically, we lose a D8 in potential to a random player. And I rolled a 5. So some player in our triples is going to be losing 5 on their potential. So we're going to the AAA roster and rolling the dice, hopefully getting a bigger number because our better players are at the top. And I rolled and got a 23, which does help us. And that's going to be Jared Schuster. So that's okay. It wasn't one of our better players. No offense to Jared Schuster. But he is going to lose 5 potential. And that'll drop him from a 77 down to a 72. Sorry, Jared. Our AAA manager just isn't doing it for you. That being said, that was that event. So we're going to go ahead and simulate. Can we win another? We do win 2-1. This is fantastic. Out of that, how did we pull this off? Not a lot of hitting, although Tristan Gray has hit 285 since being called up, and Ward goes 1 for 3. How about that call to bring up Tristan Gray? Brian Ward had a triple. Tatum had an error. Look at this. Jonathan Cannon, 7 1/3 innings of 2 hits, 1 earned run, only 2 strikeouts. Paredes gets the win, going 2/3 an inning, and Karinchak gets his 28th save of the year. We win our 5th in a row, 6 of our last 7, 7 of our last 8, 8 of our last 10, coming off that terrible losing streak that we had. And we are moving on to July 8th. July 8th is roll D100. I did. It is a no event, so we're going to go ahead and simulate today. Can we sweep Texas? We cannot. We certainly cannot. But taking 2 out of 3 at Texas, I think, is very awesome. And we are going to close out before the All-Star break with a 4-game set against the Minnesota Twins, who we are a half game better than as we approach the All-Star break. July 9th is a team chemistry day. It says simulate the game. If your team wins, add a D12 to your team chemistry. If the team loses, subtract a D12 from our team chemistry. Let's go ahead and look at our team chemistry currently. We are at 55 team chemistry. So we are trying to take on the Twins with Grant Shanley. What will his second outing be like after he returned? We lose 5-2. Let's see how Shanley did. Tatum went 2 for 4. Shanley went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. I think you'll take that with Shanley. So he actually lowered his ERA. Gilbert got hit for 2 runs in an inning. Watts and Curtis go an inning apiece and lowered their ERAs. Unfortunately, though, that is a loss in team chemistry. So we are going to have to roll a D12 loss for team chemistry, which is unfortunate because we're working so hard to build that team chemistry. But I'm struggling to find my dice. Alright, so how much team chemistry we're going to lose? We work 55. We are going to lose 3 team chemistry. So we're going to go from 55 down to 52. We're still over 50. If you think about it, our team chemistry pretty closely reflects our ranking as far as our winning and losing. We are, 47, 46. And we're going to move on to July 10th. July 10th is a roll of D20 I did and got a bench coach event. And it says bench coach gives good insight. Well, that's good. The bench coach gives some good insight and pointers to a random pitcher. They notice a specific area where the player could get some growth. Use your bench coach's rating, roll a D100 and see what happens. Well, we don't have a good bench coach. Our bench coach is rated at a -7. And so it's an automatic failure. The good news is this one is he's giving good insight no matter what. And it's a D3. And so I went ahead and rolled and got a +2. So then the question becomes, who's the pitcher and what do they get it in? Well, it goes to our starting pitcher number 2. So I rolled that. And our starting pitcher number 2 is Drew Thorpe, who's up to a 77 right now. And he's going to get added 2 for his pitch 4 control. So we go to Drew Thorpe. Go to his pitch 2. And that will be not his circle change. That'll be his fastball. He's going to get 2 for control on that, which moves that up to a 57. And that helps Drew Thorpe improve himself as he is one of our best. He's now tied with Camden at 77 overall. Good job for our bench coach there. That means we're going to go ahead and simulate July 10th. And we lose 10-8. Scored a lot of runs. Colson Montgomery 2 for 4. Clifford 2 for 5. Dominguez 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. He's up to 241. Burleson's also up to 241 with a 2 for 4 day. Tristan Gray threw 2 walks, 1 for 3. Tatum went 2 for 4 to improve his average to 230. Home runs from Dominguez and Burleson. Lots of RBIs. Unfortunately, pitching, it happened. It finally happened. A blow up for Baroa. He goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 6 earned runs, 5 hits, 1 walk. And it does increase his ERA to 3, so he still has a great ERA. Kyle Busch, how about Kyle Busch? He is dealing, even though he gave up 4 runs, 2 walks, 7 hits. So he did get hit pretty hard. But notice how bad that is, and his ERA only went to 2.17. Watts came in and once again pitched 2 innings of scoreless ball. I just feel like he just continues to pitch well. And Ray Mata comes in and pitches 1 inning of scoreless ball to lower his ERA to under 4. Fortunately, though, that is a loss for our team. So we are on July 11th, and it's roster readjustment day. Roll D14. I did. And I got an interesting one. We don't get this one a lot. It says the GM checks the waiver wire. If there's someone you would like, the GM will approve the move. So this happens so rarely that we have to, I don't even know where that checking waiver wire is. I think that's under league news, maybe. I'm not sure where to find that. Let's see. Transactions. Pending. Waiver wire. Okay, this is interesting. So we can actually get somebody off of the waiver wire if we want. And let's see, Matt Festa. Would we want anything with Matt Festa? I think so. Logan Driscoll, 65C catcher. Gosh, I feel like that would be a good pickup. What's his contract? $670,000. Omar De Los Santos. Not sure that's the move. Ripken Reyes? No. Aldo Varela. He is a first baseman, but wow, that is low. Logan Driscoll is an interesting choice. A 65C. Not really sure. Money-wise, where are we at? Let's look at our budget. We are at 57 million, and we are allowed to have 59 million. So it wouldn't put us over. So the question is, could we use another catcher in this organization? We're already 8 of 6 with catchers. Kyle Teal is hurt, so we are getting close to that point. Where would he play? Caro's going to start in the doubles. Cruz is going to start in the triples. Turner's a good backup. Is there a place for him? He is better than Morales and Galas. Is he worth the money? Would he play over Corey Lee? These are all good questions to ask. So let's check that. Well, they could say no. They could pull him back. Logan Driscoll, 65C. Left-handed bat. Boy, would I play him over Corey Lee? Part of me thinks I would. Yeah, we're going to claim Logan Driscoll on the waiver wire. That's a first in the dynasty so far. Well, we'll see if that claim goes through. We do have 91 players, so certainly we have a spot for him. And then we're going to simulate that day. And we lose 2-10. We have claimed Logan Driscoll off of... Wow, now we're getting... There's a lot going on here. The Pirates want to trade us Johan Oviedo for Colson Montgomery. Don't get me wrong. Oviedo is an interesting player on the last year of his deal. But this is our captain you're talking about. No, thank you. We're not trading Colson Montgomery. We're going to decline that trade. Now, why did we lose this game 10-2? That's what I want to know. Dominguez, he continues the hot hitting. He's up to 244 and Burleson 245. Those two are working in tandem to get up in the average to 250. Grant Taylor gets hit for 6 runs and 3 1/3. Bush does pretty well, only gives up 1 run and 2 2/3. Gilbert gives up 3 runs in 1/3 of an inning, and Gilbert is starting to show maybe he's not the answer. Let's take a look at Tyler Gilbert. That's now 7 innings. Let's look at his recent games. He's given up runs in 3 of the last 4 games. Has he earned a longer leash, though? Or do one of our lefties in the starting rotation get called up? I mean, Boozer, we don't want to call Boozer back up, but Boozer's still pitching better than Tyler Gilbert's ERA. But Gilbert's only pitched 7 innings. I think we're going to give Gilbert a little bit longer of a leash. I think he earned that from last year's 3.45. But it's something to think about. As we dropped 47 and 48 on the season. And we are going to be drafting. This is exciting. The second year of us drafting, and we are going to go to the 2026 draft. I'm going to go ahead and fill the board, and then I'll let you in on what I did. Okay, we're going to be going to the 2026 draft in just a moment, but let's take a look at some of the picks that we're looking at. On number 1 on our board is the center fielder Tom Varela. He plays not only the outfield, but also shortstop too. What does he offer? Tons of contact. He's not going to give you a lot of pop, but he's going to be fast. He's going to be a decent fielder. He's going to be a switch hitter. He's probably coming in somewhere around A potential, probably like an A69 player. So he's almost ready to play. If we were to draft him, and by the way, he has 74% motivation sign with it. So I don't think signing him would be a problem at all. His bonus demand, we do have $12.36 million in slot money, but we have a lot of cheap players if we were to sign this expensive player. Now, will he be there when we pick at 7? Probably not. But if he was there, even though, we have first base as our first priority, but I go first base, left field, center field, right field, third base, relief pitcher as the last. So these are 6 priorities. Definitely first base would be nice. I don't think he'll be there, but if he is, I probably would take him. He'd be hard to pass up. Number 2 on our board is Luis Rosales, and he offers more pop at shortstop, but he doesn't play as many positions, but he could be an amazing fielder. More pop with the contact, so you're getting more of a power hitting shortstop, not a lot of vision or discipline, so he's going to probably strike out a lot. He bats from the left-hand side versus Varela actually is a center fielder that bats switch hitter, could play short, but really he's an outfielder shortstop. But would I be happy with this, even though I don't have shortstop, second base as our primary? Yeah, I mean, I would definitely take him to add some more pop to our lineup. but I don't think he's going to be there when we draft. Richard Brandon, I have as our third pick on the board. He's only 18. He probably would come in somewhere around 86 potential or so. So like mid 80s potential. Probably comes in at like a 65 player. 65B would be probably what he'd be. And he's going to give you decent contact, good vision, good discipline, below average fielder probably, but he would give us some hitting ability, especially against lefties. He's only 5'7", 176. A little concerned about that. Probably will move him down the board, actually. Enrique Batista. Now, he's intriguing because of the opportunity he brings, once again, for his bat. 85% progress scouted. He's going to be a good fielder, really good strong arm for third base. He bats right, throws right. We have him as our fourth best pick, and he fills in that corner spot for the infield. If we did draft him, the thought would be probably keeping Colson Montgomery at shortstop, and Batista would slot in a couple years at third base. Ken Cottrell, what's his story? Well, we scouted and found him. He's 5'11", 205, undrafted. He plays first base and left field. Problem is he's injured, so that's a concern. So I don't think we would pick him with our first pick just because, well, nobody knows about him, but he's injured. And here's the thing. If he were to slip to the 39th pick, yes, I would grab him because he offers tremendous upside with power, reaction, feel. I mean, he's a gold glove first baseman with pop. So I think he would be great to take, but that injury concern with the doctor exam has me very concerned. So I don't think I would take him in the first round. But if he were still there in the second round, I think he'd be worth the risk. Pedro Batista. This is another player that we found through scouting, and he offers great contact at third base, not a lot of pop, good vision, okay to good discipline, a decent fielder, not a great fielder, but at 5'8", 176, he's a switch hitter that could also play left field. So he fills that first base, left field, third base role. So his position flexibility and the fact that people don't know about him, if he were there, now what will he come in as? He probably will come in as like an 82 to 80. He probably comes in like an 83. So he'll be a B potential probably with like 65 to 66 overall. So not a bad first pick. And the fact that he's not ranked, we might be able to get him in the second round. Dave Sullivan. He is 100% scouted, 69% motivation. He is looking for a lot of money. He is ranked 7th on our board. A lot of people have him 4th. He offers more of a contact first baseman, but also offers arm strength and accuracy with not the best of fielding. So would I play him maybe at first base instead of third? Perhaps. He offers great vision and great discipline. So would I pick Dave Sullivan to play probably third base instead of first base if that were the case? Johnny Karnitz, he is offering a left-handed at bat. He's young. He offers good power upside, good contact upside, good to decent vision and discipline upside. Below average fielder, probably slots in definitely as a left fielder. Todd Loftus, not really sure he was one I would want necessarily because we actually downgraded him from 3 to 11. He probably would come in as like a 64B. Is a left-hand second base shortstop isn't necessarily a position I'm desperate to get, and I don't like that he opted out of the exam and he wants a lot of money. But he does offer good arm strength, good speed, good stealing. Not sure that the bat skills are quite what we want with our first pick. Jonas Santiago isn't totally scouted very well, and he did drop, so I don't know that I would want him over some of these others. Robert Dunlap is 100% scouted. I do like his power upside, especially against righties. So he's definitely one I would put above Loftus. We're going to move that right now. Ray isn't fully scouted, and he did drop on our board, so I'm not sure I'd want him quite there. But that probably wraps up the draft as far as the early picks. So let's get to it. I am going to take actually a picture of. I'm actually going to come back in a moment. All right, we are ready for the draft. I've written down basically 9 prospects on the board that I think I want in the top 9. Let's see what happens. Let's start this draft. Let's see what the Padres do. And then we have our own divisions, Twins and Royals. And then we'll be picking after the Nationals and Orioles. Here we go. Let's start the draft. The first pick in the 2026 draft goes to Russell Wellborn. Now, we didn't even have him on our board. Wow, we had him ranked. We didn't scout him? Okay, that's an interesting pick. So our board is still untouched with the number 2 pick. Luis Rosales goes off the board. So we had him as our number 2. MLB had him at number 1. And the Twins take Rosales. We're actually going to write this down so we can see how the going. That's okay. Shortstop wasn't necessarily a priority, so we're okay with them taking him. Next up, the Royals go with Rich Sousa, the starting pitcher. And we're not going starting pitching. So we like when teams take starting pitching because that means more of our position players are available. And now it comes down to the Pirates. We're hoping that Varela drops to us. And they are going to take Todd Riley. And that is not a person that we actually had on our board. So now it comes to the Nationals. And they take Tom Varela. That's unfortunate. So now it comes down to the Orioles, and they are going to pick Dave Sullivan. Okay, so we've got some options here, about 4 minutes to go. So let's take a look at what our options are. So Enrique Batista, we have him at 4. He's 18. His contact skills are fantastic. His power, not so much. He's young, he's raw, he's going to be healthy. He's not going to be that expensive for the slot. So that's good. So he offers us third base. No other position, though. He's third base exclusive, so there's that. Okay, Richard Brandon. 100% scouted. He's healthy. The injury risk is low. He offers us hitting against left-handed pitching. Not a lot of pop opportunities. Decent vision. We've talked about that. Okay, outfield. Ken Cottrell. He is injured. We talked about that. He's unranked, so could we get him in the next round? That's what we're going to hope for. That Cottrell is undrafted. So he's undrafted. And also the hopes for Batista is that he's undrafted too. Johnny Carnitz. Feel like he would be a good fit for our outfield. He can't play first base. The problem with Enrique Batista, he is 6'5", though, 224. I like the size. Feel like he could be a good player. What will he come in as? He'll probably be a 63B potential out of the gates. Good hitter, not a lot of pop. Richard Brandon doesn't play outfield. Not asking for a lot of money. He is fully scouted. Batista's only 85% scouted. Problem with Richard Brandon is he doesn't offer a lot of pop, but we certainly need outfield help. He's going to be probably potential. Enrique Batista doesn't have positional flexibility. He's only got 32% motivation to sign with us, where Brandon's more likely to sign with us. He's 5'7", 176. Do we think Enrique Batista would sign with us? That's the risk you take. versus Richard Brandon, we know would sign with us. This is interesting. We definitely need, I think we're going to go Richard Brandon just because of the positional flexibility of playing the outfield and the fact that he would be willing to sign with us. I think that's going to play a big factor here. I don't need a first round pick that won't sign with us. I think we're going to take Richard Brandon with our first pick. So it is Richard Brandon, the left fielder. And he is 18 years old. And the scouts had him at 79 to 94 or 56 to 71 with a potential of 79 94. All right, and then next, Batista goes to the Marlins. And Johnny Carnitz goes to the Rockies. Pedro Gomez, pitcher, goes to the A's. Peter Ellis goes to the Giants. Yes, please, more pitchers, please. Pedro de los Santos, yep, more pitchers, please. So we're going to keep watching this draft. So, Todd Loftus, he was on our board. He goes to the Angels, but that's okay. Can we get Cottrell or Batista to fall to us? That's the question. Can those two, Cottrell or Batista? Now, if both fell, who would we take? I feel like we'd take Batista just because he's healthy. But Cottrell certainly is very enticing for sure. But we definitely need first base help. And he'd be like a 69B out of the gates and also plays left field. I actually think we'll take a chance with Ken Cottrell and hope that his numbers aren't where they're saying. Batista plays first, third, and left field. That would be, it would be tough. It's a good problem to have as we watch the clock. But more starting pitchers. Now, our 39th pick, I think we feel pretty good about one of these two. The question is, after that, who's it going to be? Not sure who of these people will fall to us at that point. But I do like seeing a lot of these starting pitchers go off the board. Yes, keep taking starting pitchers, please. Mitchell McDermott, don't really think I had him on there. Yeah, we didn't really scout them too much. Robert Dunlap. We had him on our board. He goes to the Rays. Yeah, that could end up being a pretty good pick. Robbie Ali. Catcher. Yeah, go ahead. Take catchers and starting pitchers, please. Cottrell, Batista. Will they go? Okay, that's another starting pitcher. We'll take that. Who will the Dodgers go with? Another starting pitcher, which is fantastic for us. Let's get through this round. We need to get to pick 39. Another starting pitcher. Yep, thank you very much. All right, we're just several picks away from getting back to our guys. Yeah, he fell for us, so I'm okay with them taking as a party. He was a good contact guy, but opted out of the exam. They go with Cabrera. We did not really have him rated very high. They went with the starting pitcher, the Astros did, in the competitive balance pick. Or excuse me, in that round. Edgar Reyes. Okay, so we are going to be, after the competitive balance round, we are going to be the first team to pick. So we need these teams to not take Cottrell or Batista. We've got 5 teams left to get by these 2 players. Can they fall to us? If they don't, would we take Jose or Jonas Santiago? Probably. Well, not now. There goes Jonas Santiago. So we're down to 3 teams for Cottrell and Batista. Okay, at this point, we could take either Cottrell or Batista as long as both these teams don't grab them. And there it is. We are either going to get Ken Cottrell or Pedro Batista, no matter what happens. And now the information starts to happen as the Rockies take Bobby Ferreira. So we got 4 minutes to make this decision between Ken Cottrell and Pedro Batista. And here's what it comes down to. Ken Cottrell is probably going to be a 69B out of the gates. He plays left field as a backup and first base. He has the pop right out of the gates. His vision discipline is a little suspect. He's an amazing fielder. So you could play him probably at first base and have a gold glove like first baseman. His reaction is phenomenal. So you are getting a first baseman that has pop out of the gates. He's cheap. Now, he is hurt. He does have great motivation to sign with us, but he could be a steal in that round. Pedro Batista, the reason he is worth signing is because he's 18 and a switch hitter, where Cottrell's already 21. Batista probably comes in at like an 83, 84, probably B. He can play first and third. We might be able to get both these guys, but he's more of a contact guy. Not as good a fielder, but I'd be happy with both, and he's also healthy. So the question is, could we get Cottrell, and we need first base help, so I'm leaning towards Cottrell. I'm probably going to write his name in right now. But he's hurt. He's also 21. And his potential is a 64 to 74 with potential of 80 to 90. 21 years old. Now, let's do our due diligence. Is there anybody else we should think about signing at this point? I mean, none of these people. I mean, David Nixon. I mean, how long do you wait on these players? No, don't talk yourself out of it. Ken Cottrell. We're going to draft Ken Cottrell and hope that doctor exam, we hope that he's not hurt too bad. And now we await, and we hope that Batista falls to us. And I think we're going to go ahead and simulate to our next pick. Okay, Pedro Batista is there in the 3rd pick. We also have, just doing due diligence here. We are very happy though. Pedro Batista is going to fall to us. So we end up getting both of what we want. He's the 3rd baseman, 18 years old, range of 58 to 73, 76 to 91 potential. And both these players we got through scouting further prospects. So Pedro Batista, welcome to the Chicago White Sox. The 18-year-old switch hitter probably is like a 64B potential player. He is healthy though. So we're actually going to draft a left fielder, a first baseman, and a 3rd baseman. We are getting the corner spots we asked for. Could we get a center fielder still? Not probably, but I have a lot of right fielders still on our board, so right field's probably our next pick. So let's go ahead and simulate to our next pick. And the Rockies are going to go with Paul Costa. Let's go ahead and sim to our next pick. We won't have as much time to talk because we'll have less time on the clock. All right. Will we go with Ramirez? a lot of pop, not a lot of scouting. Metcalf has a lot to offer. 18 years old. I like Metcalf. Freddie McDonald, haven't really looked at. Look at him. Ooh, this player, Julio Carabello. 23 years old. Yeah, I think the pick is Metcalf. Thomas Metcalf, 18 years old, is going to be the pick. Thomas Metcalf. I like that pick because he is 18. He's got 52 to 80 overall, 57 to 85 overall. He's a left bat. He's better with what we've looked at, the scouting progress, better than we thought he'd be. He's not going to be a lot of pop, but he's going to be a contact guy. 6'1", 204. I like that too. He's could be pretty fast. Probably a slightly average fielder. But we have now gotten left field, first base, third base, right field. Those are the four of the top 5 priorities we had. We still didn't get a center fielder. But other than that, I feel pretty good with what we've gotten so far. So we are going to go ahead and move on to our next pick. The Labos, 35% scouted. The contact guy first, third. Freddie McDonald. Freddie looks like he could be a pretty good player. No one sees him. Antoine Johnson, we don't really know a lot about him. I do like Jose though, but no one knows about him. He's already 23. It might be. Let's see. Freddie McDonald. It's going to be Freddie McDonald. A little bit of a speed pick there. And Freddie McDonald. I like that he was not ranked, but we saw some potential in him. He's 18. He plays second base. Overall, they've got him from 44 to 78, 54 to 88 potential. Gives us another second baseman in our system. Another positional player. I think moving forward, I would go with relief pitcher or center field. And we still have some picks left on the board. The Labos. Not bad. Contact first baseman, third baseman. Don't know a lot here. The Labos, we know 35%, 20% on Dietrich. Woody Cox, we know 40, he's 23. Bill Labos is at least younger. Chris Gill is 21. Yeah, Bill Labos, the nice thing about him is he plays first and third. Gregorio Villa Lobos. So he has third base in him. He's also 18. The 42 to 70 range. So he's probably in the 50, 58. The potential of maybe like a C potential. But look what we did. We got left field, first base, third base, right field, second base, and third base. And he can also play first base. So we've got our corner stuff. The only thing we didn't address is center field. And maybe that's something we can focus on next year. But we wanted to get corner people, and we wanted to get more pop. I think we accomplished our goal. I feel happy about what we did. in this draft. Excellent. Wouldn't it be something if we could go into the All-Star game at 500? One more thing about that draft that we just had. We went 18-year-old, 21-year-old, 18, 18, 18, 18. I mean, we went extremely young with our draft, which is what you need to do when you are somewhat limited with your budget. And so I'm really excited about that.
So there was our second draft of the season. Hopefully that will be a big part of our team moving forward into year 3. Thank you as always for watching. Have a great day.